Oh, hey, how are you? Welcome back to the Shade Tree, guys. Today we are going to be painting the valve covers on the big block Fox body. I'm in the Tahoe right now, heading to the trash dump. You know, got to do those husband duties and such. Then we're going to head over to the auto parts store, see what kind of paint we've got. I'm hoping to do like a wrinkle, something black or red. So let me know in the comments what you guys think it should be, and I will see you back at the house. Alright guys, I just got back from the auto parts store, and here's what I picked up. I picked up some of this VHT primer, flame proof primer. It says maximum adhesion for all high heat applications, 1300 to 2000 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't think I need this, but I'm going to do it anyway just because I think I could have used any kind of primer, filler primer, or whatever. I don't think it gets that hot under here, but we're going to use it. And then I ended up going with VHT's High Temp Wrinkle Plus. It's rated up to 350 degrees, and it says that it gives a wrinkle finish, durable texture coating. I've always seen a lot of the tuner cars, they'll do their valve covers, their plastic valve covers, or whatever, in this wrinkle paint, wrinkle red or whatever. We're going to do these Edelbrock Chrome style valve covers in the wrinkle black. I don't know if you've noticed, but our engine bay's kind of got a blue and black and blue theme going here. We've painted all of our front assembly black. All of our brackets are black, everything like that. Our pulley kit's black, all that good stuff. So I think we're going to be fine using this VHT. Biggest thing I need to do, go ahead and get these valve covers off of here and get started sanding. Now I picked up just some 400 grit and some 600 grit. I'm going to actually hit the rust spots with like a little brass wire wheel and then hand sand everything to scuff it all up. Hit it with some primer, maybe scuff it again with some 600, hit it maybe with another shot of primer, just to try to smooth it out as much as I can. I'm not really a perfectionist when it comes to painting stuff like this, but my dad is a body man, and he would probably make fun of me if I didn't at least try to make it look good. So let's get started. Alright, so there you go. I've got the heads covered up, but everything's looking good under there. Let's go and give these valve covers a look-see, and you'll probably see why I'm wanting to paint them. So this is probably the worst side. See, we got a lot of rust down around the bolt holes, and then all that right there. That's just no bueno, no bueno. And then we've got the left side, same thing, just for rusted and pit. Now these are the valve covers that came on the engine whenever I bought the car, so something I've been wanting to do for a while. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and get a brass wire wheel, put that on the drill, and just hit those heavy rust spots. Try to get as much of that off of there as I can. And then we'll go through, hand sand everything, scuff it all up, work our way up to the 600 grit, shoot some primer, shoot a base, be done with it. So let's get this thing going. So as you can see, I got a lot of the heavy rust off. I mean, it's still pitted and rusty, and I actually may, once I sand this down with by hand, I may go in and spray the edges with some rust reformer, just to try to give it the best chance it has to not rusting up again. So let's go ahead and start hand sanding. We're going to use some 400 grit, just go over this, scuff everything up, and see what it looks like. So we ended up having this Scotch-Brite. It's much more abrasive. I'm not sure what the grit technically is. We're just going to go over this and see if it does any better. Alright, so I don't know if you can tell the difference or not, but so this is the one I just finished sanding with that Scotch-Brite pad. It's a lot more dull than it was before. Still need to clean it, get all the grease and stuff off of it, but we'll do that with some like brake clean or something degreaser. And then you got this one. So this one hasn't been touched yet. So I don't know if you can tell the difference, but I can. So I think the Scotch-Brite's the way to go. You're going to want something a little bit more aggressive than 400 grit. And I even think the texture's going to be fine. I forgot that we're doing the wrinkle paint. So it's going to be textured anyway, so it doesn't have to be the smoothest thing in the world. Alright, so I'm going to get started on this one. Alright, so as you can see here, I went ahead and got both of the valve covers scuffed up. Used just that Scotch-Brite, didn't really go back with the finishing 600, anything like that, because, like I said, I remembered that this is a wrinkle paint, so it's not like it's going to be super smooth or need that glass finish like you would if you were painting a car or something like that. So all I did was scuff them up, and then I went ahead and went around the edges where the rust was bad, and I put some of that rust reformer. Just used, I think mine was Duplicolor or something like that, just a rust reformer to try to give it its best chance for that rust to go away and not come back. Now if you wanted to, you could sand these down to bare metal. My arms and shoulders and forearms wouldn't allow that. So went ahead, shot that around there. Let's get some primer sprayed. Alright, so now that our primer is sprayed, here's what we look like. I'm really happy the way it laid out. It's got a nice even finish. And I mean, for valve covers, it's going to do pretty good. I've got my makeshift wind deflector here. But you can see all down through the sides there where that rust was. It doesn't look too bad. You can still see some of the pitting and things like that, but even just the way they are right there, they're 100 times better than they were. So let's go ahead and get this VHT Wrinkle Plus shook up, and we'll start spraying some of that. Alright, so we've got the first coat of the Wrinkle Black sprayed on the valve covers. Pretty good coverage. I kept hitting the valve covers with the can because I'm clumsy and I wasn't thinking. But it covered pretty good even in the spots where I hit. So we're going to let that coat dry, take a look at it, and then see if we need to add another coat. So let's take a look. So it's been about 10-15 minutes since I sprayed the first coat. One thing the can says is that the wrinkle texture doesn't happen immediately. So after you let it dry, then you want to check it out and see. These aren't dry yet, but I can see where the wrinkle texture is coming in. So let's take a look, see if you can see it. Maybe not in the sun, I don't know. So can you see the texture coming up? And then you can see on this side where it's still wet, it's still showing smooth, but it's slowly starting to dry and give that texture. So what I'm doing is I just rotate it into the sunlight to try to help it to dry as much as possible. And I can already see that it's starting to get that texture. So I'm actually, as this dries and settles, I'm actually becoming very pleased with the outcome, and we'll see what it looks like when everything's dried out. But I am very pleased. Very, very pleased. I went ahead and put my bolts, got them sprayed down. They were red for some reason. I think the engine block was red before, so we got them sprayed down. Not with wrinkle, just with that rust reformer. Just threw it on there real quick, but I'm very pleased with the way these are turning out. Now, will they hold up, man? I don't know. Some of y'all will probably bash me in the comments for not doing more prep work, but I did more than I would probably normally would have. All right, let's give these time to dry, and then whenever they're fully dry, or at least enough, I'll come back. You can see right here, it's actually showing up more than I thought it would, where I hit the cover with the can. So that's frustrating and annoying. Maybe if I throw one more little coat over that, you won't be able to see it as much if the texture does right. So who knows? We'll see. I'll be back in a little bit. All right, it's been about an hour since we first sprayed these valve covers, and I'm pretty happy with it. I didn't expect it to turn out as good as it did, just because of the shape they were in. And like I said, I don't know how long these will hold up later on down the road. You know, you'll see them as you see the car. But I've only sprayed one full coat, and then, like I said earlier, the instructions say that sometimes if the wrinkle texture doesn't show up, that you can go back and just kind of spray over that one particular spot. So it really never says to do multiple coats. It just says to maybe touch up those spots. I still have a couple of places that the texture isn't 100% even, but I'm hoping out here in the sun that might come back a little bit more. But I'm rambling. Let's take a look at these things. So this is in the sunlight, of course, but you can definitely see that wrinkle texture. I've even actually went ahead and put in the little rubber inserts for like your breathers, I guess like your PCV and things like that. And then down here you can maybe see the texture's not 100%. I just went and shot that again, so I'm waiting on that to dry up and that texture to form. But I'm very pleased with the way these have turned out. 100% better than what they looked like an hour ago. So would I recommend using wrinkle black on a chrome plated, chrome-ish valve cover? Yes, 100%. Now you may want to go and take it a little bit further than I did and do a little bit more prep, but I spent 30 bucks on paint and sandpaper that I didn't really even need because I didn't even really use it. So really I probably could have gotten away with, like, I think the cans of paint were 20. Yeah, cans of paint were 20. No, I'm sorry, I spent $40, and I probably could have gotten away with probably 25 or 30. Cans of paint were like $10 or $11 a piece. The primer and the VHT wrinkle paint, and I probably could have gotten away with just getting that because I had the Scotch-Brite already here in the garage. So I'm gonna give these a little bit longer out here in the sun to dry, and I'm gonna go ahead and throw them back on the car very loosely because it does say to give like 48 hours before you reinstall. But I'm impatient, plus it's supposed to rain tomorrow. Today was really the best day to do this, and I'm very happy with it. So I will just put a picture at the end of this video showing you what these look like back on the car. I'm super excited about seeing it. Probably going to get a different kind of valve cover breather because mine, as you saw me take off in the previous part, it's just chrome, and I don't know, I may paint it too and throw it on there. You'll see in the picture here at the end. But I appreciate you for watching, guys. Stay tuned for all the new videos. I'm going to try to get this car lined up and ready to race, hopefully sometime in April, at least make a pass. I have something in my cart online that I'm thinking about buying. Wifey has given me the okay, the approval, and I don't know if y'all know it or not, but I kind of hate to spend money. So it's still in my cart, and I may hit the order button today. So stay tuned for what that is. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think it is, and we'll see. But here's those valve covers. I appreciate you for watching, guys. Thanks for all the support. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. We'll see you in the next video. Thanks, guys. God bless. Man, these look good.